Camille's heart raced as she crouched behind a cluster of bushes, her hands trembling as she carefully assembled the explosives. The train carrying German ammunition was scheduled to pass through her village within the hour, and she knew she had to act quickly. The fate of her country depended on it. As she meticulously placed each charge along the tracks, her mind raced with thoughts of the risks and dangers involved. She was just a young woman, untested in the ways of war and espionage, but she knew she had to do something to fight back against the occupation. She couldn't stand idly by while her people suffered under the boot of the Nazis. Just as she finished setting the last explosive, she heard a faint groan behind her. Whirling around, she was startled to see a German soldier lying on the ground, clutching his leg in obvious pain. His eyes met hers, pleading for help. Camille's heart clenched with conflicting emotions. Here was the enemy, the oppressor, the one she was supposed to despise and resist. And yet, he was also a fellow human being in need. The soldier's words were in German, a language Camille had been taught to hate and fear. But despite her instincts telling her to turn away, her compassion overrode her fear. She hesitated for a moment, torn between her duty to her cause and her innate sense of humanity. As the sound of the approaching train grew louder, Camille knew she had to make a decision. She couldn't let her emotions cloud her judgment, not when so much was at stake. With a heavy heart, she made a quick decision and helped the wounded soldier to his feet, guiding him to safety away from the tracks. But as she watched the soldier disappear into the shadows, a wave of doubt and guilt washed over her. Had she made the right choice? Had her compassion clouded her judgment and jeopardized the mission? The explosives were set, the train was approaching, and Camille felt a surge of panic rising within her. She had to act fast. As the train thundered into view, Camille's heart raced with a mix of fear and determination. Without hesitation, she triggered the explosives and watched as the tracks buckled and twisted, causing the train to derail in a spectacular explosion of sparks and debris. The mission was a success, but at what cost? In the aftermath, as she fled into the cover of the night, Camille knew that the consequences of her actions would haunt her for years to come. But as she ran through the darkened streets, her resolve remained firm. She may have faced a moral dilemma on that fateful night, but she had also discovered a strength within herself that she never knew existed. And as she disappeared into the darkness, she knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, she would always fight for freedom, for justice, and for the hope of a better tomorrow.